What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's Dave with Transfer Express. It is the heat transfer answer. I am so excited to be here with you on a Friday. We're just hanging out. We are here in the Transfer Express studio in Mentor, Ohio. I should probably pop on these lights before we start coming in. I see 4 of you in here now, but let's get some cool lights going on here. What color are we going to go with today for our lights? We could do a rainbow or green or blue. Let's do blue. What do you say? Transfer Express blue all around. I'm down with that. If you guys are just joining in, go ahead and hit up that chat section just so I know it's working. And we have everybody in there. This is the heat transfer answer. So this is all of your questions, completely unscripted. I have a few things around here that I could talk about if no questions come in, but I did have a few questions come on in from our webinar yesterday that I will address here in just 1 second. And I have Sulima. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. If you have any pressing questions, let me know. I have the press here. It is a little hot for what I want to be pressing right now. I have a whole bunch of Ultra Color Max that I could press with you today. But if you do have any of those questions, please let me know. I am here to answer all of these questions with all of the resources that we have here at Transfer Express. Now, I'm very proud to be a part of the Stahls family, the leader in heat decoration, at least here in the United States and globally as well, with Stahls Asia and Stahls Europe. Of course, we are partnered with Hottronics, who makes awesome heat presses. This is the Hottronics Auto Clam 16 by 20 version right here with me. It is my absolute favorite heat press to use, bar none. Hands down, the Air Fusions and the Fusions are awesome, fully capable machines that even have more capabilities than what this press has. But I really do just love the ease of use of being able to throw shirts on and off this thing. The auto open feature without an air compressor makes it all super easy. I see a whole bunch of chats coming in. I have everything down on my laptop right here. So let those questions fly and we'll jump right into them. Four Corners Custom Products, Mike from North Carolina, Ohio in the house. Whoop, whoop. Thanks, Estelle. And North Central Minnesota, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Man, it's the end of the week. I don't know where this week went by. It just flew. I was on vacation, like 2 weeks ago, and it feels like time just sped up when I came back. And everything's due, and we're always behind, or I'm always behind on everything. But on Fridays, we get to slow down. We get to hang out on YouTube here, completely unscripted. We're going to answer your questions. I want to be able to help you guys out. And even if it's not heat pressing related, anything, apparel business, Etsy store. I've been doing tons of research and helping my wife out with her Etsy store. So I've just been kind of just really putting the boots on and walking through that entire setup, putting my, I'm kind of in the shoes of a small business owner as I kind of see things through my wife's vision and her Etsy store, but I'm helping out there. So I'm getting real in depth into all those marketing strategies. We just put a video out on pricing strategies and how you could price your apparel right here on our YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that in there. Lori from Wisconsin, hello up there. I hope it's a little bit cooler than it is here. We're like 88 degrees. It's super humid here in Ohio, but Transfer Express has 2 facilities, if you don't know. Our headquarters here in Mentor, Ohio, which is just about 30 minutes east of downtown Cleveland. So we're in the greater Cleveland metropolitan area. And then we also have a printing facility in Chandler, Arizona, which is just outside of Phoenix. And you could pick up pretty much every single product except Ultra Color Max and stock numbers there. So everything else is going to ship from here in Ohio, but we're trying to mirror all of our capabilities on both the East Coast or the Midwest, if you want to call it the Midwest, and then all the way out west, because, I mean, a lot of people live in California or Arizona now when they're trying to leave the snow here in Ohio, or Wisconsin. I bet you know about that too. So let me go back here. Let's see, Texas Q, yeah. Oh, Texas barbecue is awesome. So I only imagine your shirts are awesome too. We're down in Fort Worth, and I'm getting really excited. I'm going back down to Fort Worth for Impressions, the Impressions Expo this year. It's at the end of September, I think, kind of going into October. But some really, really fun, exciting stuff that we have going on for that show. I'll be doing one of the workshops at the Impress You conference during that on placement and positioning. I did a webinar yesterday on it right here in the same studio that I thought went great. Really great feedback from you guys, some tips that you shared your own. We answered a whole bunch of questions, but we're going to be kind of repeating that in real life. Although that webinar went about an hour and 45 minutes, we do have a hard cutoff time at the event. So we're going to try to condense that to about an hour and 15 before they cut me off, turn the lights off in the room, and make everybody make everybody leave. But I'm really, really excited to get back down there. We're going to be doing great things with Stalls, showing off a brand new product that's going to be releasing here with them in July. Of course, we just released our Ultra Color Pro, which is these transfers I have right here, which is kind of the next evolution from Ultra Color Soft. So same sheet size, that 11.5 by 18 inch sheet size, except it is going to be a hot peel instead of that cold peel that everybody was having trouble with. And they come in these awesome resealable bags so that they last, I wouldn't say forever, but last a long time, where you could seal these up. A little gel pack in there somewhere, right there, if you could see that little tiny gel pack. But that one's keeping the moisture out of these prints, keeping that adhesive ready to go. We always say, even like goof-proof transfers, as long as you store them in a climate-controlled environment, you're going to be A-OK and fine. We did a video about maybe like a year ago where we actually pressed a 10-year-old transfer that was not in a bag, just sitting loose in a filing cabinet here in our Transfer Express offices for over 10 years, and it applied absolutely perfect. There was no camera magic. We didn't try it 6 times on 6 different shirts figuring out how to do it, and we applied it to the original instructions. Of course, if you think your transfers are a little dried out after a couple years, I always recommend just pressing them for like double of what they're supposed to print for if you're having any trouble. So just increase the time, like if you're doing 4 seconds with a goof proof, just bump it up to 8, 10 seconds, and it should apply perfectly fine if it's just a little dried out. Of course, sometimes when stored improperly or they get in contact with moisture, they get ruined and they're unable to be printed. But if you have a 10-year-old transfer, might be time to get some new designs anyway. Your designs are awesome. Didn't mean for that sound weird there. Here we go. All right, okay. Billiards. I could get down with billiards too. I'm okay. I'm not a shark, but I have sharked people before. It's always fun, you know, playing a little bit of billiards. So I hope that's what it is, playing pool, shooting it, you know. I do sometimes on the weekends. It's very fun. I've always wanted a pool table of my own. I just don't have anywhere in my house to put it. So I have to go and play at those little pub tables, or the bowling alley here is great too. Awesome. Oh, freedom, yeah. Oh man, I wanted to get out to Indianapolis. I had a scheduling conflict, but I want to say that it was, what, Abby and Andy, or Abby and Ryan were out there in Indianapolis. That's one of my favorite shows, the GPX Expo, Graphics Pro, and that one with WrapsCon. I am not a car wrap guy, but seeing those guys wrap cars live on the show floor is so cool to see. And that's like one area of printing that I've printed with large format machines, the Mimakis, the Epsons, everything like that, but I've never actually printed or tried to wrap a car. I imagine it's pretty difficult. You have all those lines and you need to make sure it looks good. Otherwise you're taking that Mercedes and not making it look so nice. So freedom, man, I am sorry I missed you in Indy. I really wanted to go, but next year I could catch you, or if you're gonna travel anywhere to any other shows, let us know, and I'll try to get there, because I want to meet you. You hang out with us all the time on the live streams, and I really, I loved hearing your feedback and love hearing your story of, you know, as you're going along with your t-shirt business. Let's see. All right, Texas Q. We have a few different sizes of our gang sheets. So our Ultra Color, of course, is 11.5 by 18. This one right here. And then, of course, our screen printed transfers. My absolute favorite, the Goof Proof, is 11.25 inch by 14 inches. Or our jumbo size is, I think, 12 by 18. 12.5 by 18 inches. So it gives you 40% more room on your sheet for, like, when you're in like 18 quantity, it's like 10 cents more. I do jumbo all the time. We only have a few presses that are printing jumbo here, and so those are always almost at capacity. They tell us, like, stop talking about jumbo, but I love jumbo, and I want to pass those savings on to you. We only have 30 people here with us, so it's like my little secret. Go with jumbo sheets. They cost just a little tiny bit more, and you really, really do get so much more space. I was able to fit, we don't have them here, but we actually have the video here on our YouTube. I was able to fit 2 full back prints and a left chest print. So 2 full shirts on 1 sheet. And that print on the back is not small. I want to say it was like 7 inches by 11 inches. So it was a maxed out back graphic. It's the Palm Bay bikes. If you see that in any of our advertising, that was printed from a jumbo sheet. Love, love, love the value in those things. And especially with gang sheets, that's our little secret here at Transfer Express is all of these gang sheets. And we fit a full front artwork here, full front here, a left chest, and a whole bunch of inside tags. And we still got real estate that I could have filled in on this sheet. But I was in a hurry and just let it rip. But see, all this value in this sheet already is well worth it. Is this even a jumbo sheet? This is a jumbo sheet right with us now. So this is the size of the jumbo sheet. I don't know if I have one of a standard sheet size anywhere around here. I don't. But this is the 11.5 by 18. That is for our Ultra Color Pro. So you can see that they're all right there. Pretty much the same size, but the sheet size for the screen printed transfers is that 11.25 inch by 14, all in there. Man, you guys are hitting this chat up today. I want to make sure that I answer these. Yes, barbecue is delicious. I forgot the name of the place in Fort Worth that I went, but I'm going to go back. I know where it was, and when I get back down to Fort Worth, I'm going to do it. Those sausage links, you can't get anywhere else but Texas, and they're incredible. Absolutely my favorite. Billiards, 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 yes. All right, Mobile, Alabama, 4 Corners in with us. Morning in Phoenix. It is still morning in Phoenix. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, right? That's from that one Jim Carrey movie, As We Go. Awesome, awesome. Can you do a photo portrait on a screen print? You cannot. We really don't recommend it unless you like have it super simplified in Photoshop to just like 1 or 2 colors, or like the kind of that Shepherd Fairy style, if you know, like the Obama Hope poster, where it was like 2, 3 colors in the portrait. You could do that in screen printing, and those posters were originally screen printed. Shepherd Fairy does great screen printing work, but we recommend using our Ultra Color Max or Ultra Color Pro or Ultra Color Soft transfers. So we have 3 of those full color options that are going to be for anything pretty much that you want to print on. If you want to be printing on spandex or nylon, high lycra content, go ahead and you could switch over to the Ultra Color Stretch. It's got just industry-leading stretch, and that stuff sticks on even through those wash cycles. So those typically kind of harder to even screen print products, that's where Ultra Color Stretch is really going to come in. But Ultra Color Max, I mean, I love Ultra Color Max for those low pieces. Typically when you get over like 24, 36 quantity on like an average sized graphic, you really kind of start cutting into your profit margin, especially if you're doing a bulk run for a customer, that it gets a little expensive, and that's when you'll switch over to the Ultra Color Pro now. Has that same smooth, easy hot peel. I actually have all 3 samples here. I don't know if you could see this. Let me switch over to the press camera and see if you could see this, if it's not too out of focus. But this is effectively all of the Ultra Color line, the entire Ultra Color line of transfers here. That is kind of going between them. So if you could see any differences between them, you could try to call them out in the chat section if you think you know which one is soft, which one is pro, and which one is max. Because they are very, very similar. You see a little bit maybe of colors change on that because just the different finish of them. Of course, Ultra Color Soft has that buttery smooth, almost velvety soft finish to it, and that's in part because of the cold peel. But with Pro and Max, you have more, I like to call it a satin. It's not gloss, it is still matte, but compared to the super matteness of a, say, Ultra Color Soft print that you do have, I don't know if I could move this in the light, if you guys could kind of see the shimmer and shine on that. You can see that they're not glossy by any means, which you typically, it's been really hard to get that with a digital transfer. And our research and development department put so much work into developing the inks and testing the equipment, testing the adhesives to make sure it is an awesome, easy process. And that's what we've been trying to improve on Ultra Color Soft. So I don't know if there's too much, I'm getting too high here, but but I don't know if there's too much in there if you guys are guessing yet, but if you are, I'm going to tell you right now. So this one right here, starting on the edge, you cannot see any clear outlines, nice into the fabric, but maybe a little bit more muted colors than the other one. Still very, very, very vibrant is our Ultra Color Max. This is price per square inch, a nice light feel on the garment, pretty much the closest digital transfer that you could get to a screen print. It is direct to film, but from what we've heard from other people, our direct to film is absolutely incredible. Look at the stretch and rebound. It goes back. There's no wrinkling, no puckering, anything on that print. Here in the middle, you might be able to see a slight kind of clear adhesive outline around this. This is the Ultra Color Soft, and if I shine it in the light, you can see how just matte and velvety that looks. And then of course on the end here is our brand new Ultra Color Pro. It does still have an adhesive clear outline, but I mean you can't see it at all, and that's really the beauty of that hot peel transfer, is that it just that adhesive edge is just sealed in there when you peel it hot. It's not going anywhere in a super easy process, real nice and easy to use. But if you guys have not tested out the new Ultra Color Pro, head on over to transferexpress.com, request a free sample, and we'll send you a sample. If you're a new customer to us and you're just discovering us here on YouTube, we'll send you free samples of every transfer type that we have. This is actually the actual sample that you're going to get in your little welcome sample pack. But every new customer gets one. This is this transfer unapplied. It does have the Ultra Color Pro. I removed it on here so we could try to trick employees here and go, hey, which one's which? And if you don't guess, you're fired. Just kidding, we're not firing anybody, but we like to play that game with them. Let's see. Coulter's Barbecue in Fort Worth, that does sound familiar. It's on that nice little, where all the hip stuff is. It was one of the highest rated in Fort Worth. A tiny little joint. It kind of has like a alley on the side, but man, those Texas sausage links, a little spicy, oh, they were so good. I loaded up with some and took them back to the hotel room, and sadly did not travel with them and left some there, but I'm coming back for them. No impression show, I'm just coming for the barbecue. Gotta make sure we get it. Let's go through here. 75 Fahrenheit, rain on and off in Minnesota. That's nice and cool. I'm sweating in here in the studio already. I feel the heat in here. Let's go. Neighbors in Old Lorain, Ohio. Hello, hello. What's the difference between Ultra Color Pro and Ultra Color Max? So let me tell you, it's more than just the feel. So if we remove soft in the middle here and we just have Pro and Max, so we'll cover this one up. Pro does have a small clear adhesive outline on the print, so that's going to be the number one difference in the actual print. But as you can see, the colors are all very, very similar and look great. You could do the photorealism, you could do the free floating text, you could do fades and gradients, and no color counting, and your cost isn't going to go up regardless of how many colors are in your design. Now with Ultra Color Max, you could gang sheet up to 22 by 22 inches, or you could order by the single image. Ultra Color Pro, you have to order by the sheet only. So let me see, do I have a sheet out? Yep, I do have a sheet out. Oh, with a little killer whale dude, and this like awesome galaxy pattern in here. I don't know how well you could see this galaxy pattern. I'll try to hold it up there. Hopefully there's not too much glare on the camera there, but you could see that is a photorealistic kind of space galaxy print. There's little Milky Ways in there, or galaxies, that kind of change the color of it. So you have to order this by the sheet. So it's by the gang sheet only. It's great for higher quantity orders. This has a minimum quantity of 6 sheets, whereas the Ultra Color Max has just a $25 order minimum. And if you gang sheet a full 22 by 22 inch sheet, I think it's like 29 bucks. So it's just 6 cents per square inch, whatever you want. This is priced by the sheet, so it has set pricing on. You could check it online. It's on the pricing guide, or if you're in Easy View, you could switch between them and see the pricing difference. I know at 6 quantity, Pro is about $4 cheaper than the same exact quantity, same exact sheet size as soft. So at low quantity, it really kind of fills that gap, and that's just all material cost. We're not trying to mark it up. We want to pass the savings on to you. Of course, if you're not profitable, you're going to stop ordering, and we're not going to be able to support you as a t-shirt business. So we want to support you as well, and make sure that you could still be maintaining profit, be competitive with the leading national retailers, and have those same capabilities. So We did the feel a little bit with that clear outline because the satin finish on them is almost identical. We talked about how to order them, the single images or up to a gang sheet or just sheet sizes. And then the last huge difference is because Max requires camera ready or print ready artwork if you're not an old school guy like me, but print ready artwork. And so if it is not 300 DPI in a raster format or a vector file, it may have to go over to our design department who's going to clean it up, upscale it, or completely redraw it, and that's a $22 proofing fee. It includes 2 revisions, so even if you go from like a napkin sketch and just send it to us, we'll have our artists work on it, proof it with you, you approve it, and then it'll turn into a job. But that's $22 that could be added to your order, whereas with Ultra Color Pro, that is 100% completely included in the cost of the transfers. So you could go from a napkin sketch, we'll draw it all out for you, produce the transfers, and what you see for the cost of the transfers is what you get. Of course, here at Transfer Express, no setup fees whatsoever, anytime, just that artwork proofing fee. So you're never gonna get hit with those hidden fees. The only thing that's tacked on at the end, of course, is our flat rate shipping, which we subsidize to 2 days anywhere in the United States, regardless of where you live. If it's going to take more than 2 days with ground shipping to get to you, we just upgrade that to air delivery, speedy air delivery, and it's gonna be air shipping that's going to get to you within 2 business days anywhere in the contiguous United States. So from our friends in Texas or on California or down in Florida, where sometimes it takes more than 2 days, we're gonna make sure that the order gets to you in 2 days. Our turn times for our transfers are 2 business days for pretty much everything now, except the Ultra Color Stretch, still at, I think, 3 or 4 days. But primarily every single transfer that almost every single transfer that we make here is 2 days or less. Like Ultra Color Max ships next day. One color goof proof orders with Easy Prints ship next day. Like it's maximum at 2 days. But we're Transfer Express, so we don't want the shipping to bog down how fast we printed your order. So we want to make sure it gets to you fast too. So I hope that answers your question. Those are the main differences between Pro and Max. And then Soft is pretty much exactly like Pro, costs a little bit more at low quantities, and is a cold peel, which some people love, some people don't love. So we wanted to be able to give you that option based on what your preferences are. Because if you're just doing a couple shirts at a time, man, it's okay to let them cool down and you get that nice soft matte finish. But if you're doing a huge run, 100, 200 shirts, the efficiency of just being able to hot peel and just keep rolling on your print job is really awesome, and that's really powerful in there. Let's see. Yep, sounds like I went to Coulter's. Yes. All right. Let's see. Angelo's. Oh, was it Angelo's or Coulter's? It was one of them. I like you guys getting in there talking about the barbecue. I love the barbecue. Grad photo shirts with Ultra Color Max, they look fantastic. That's what they're there for, making it look awesome. Now you can't do like soft edges with Max or really any kind of heat transfer. Like if it fades out to the shirt color, it's gotta be a hard edge. So our system's gonna pick that up and we'll show you in like highlighted pink or magenta areas, this section of the artwork needs work, or this is too small. This may have printing errors. Now, that's not saying that your artwork is like terribly bad. It's just issues that you're going to have with your print maybe down the road. I did some super fine detail and ignored all the warnings, and I mean, I've washed it like 4 or 5 times, it still holds up. So it is just kind of that minimum threshold that is really dependent on what file format you have and the quality of that file. You want to be aiming for 300 DPI at the print size. So if you're in Photoshop designing stuff, make sure that you have your canvas or your artboard set to a specific size that you want to print. If it's 11 inches wide, make sure you're going all the way 11 inches wide, and then you have your resolution set to 300 DPI. Let's see, I'm a little back behind. 108 in rain in Phoenix, no longer a dry heat. At least you guys are getting a little bit of a wet heat. That's always so hot out there. I love Las Vegas, but like in the summertime, whew, when I lived in South Carolina, that summertime there, that humidity is insane. So I'll take a dry heat over that humid heat any day there, guys. Let's see. Christopher's wants to order the first sheet to test this weekend. Absolutely. Now that's one thing when you're testing artwork or testing prints, what Ultra Color Max is absolutely awesome for. Let's see. I have some Ultra Color Max here, but this is a 4-color artwork. Traditionally, if you said I wanted 2 pieces of this, a lot of people are going to be like, no. Or if your customer came to you and was like, I need my logo, it has 4 colors in it, but I just need 2 of them to fill. We hired a new employee, we're out of our old staff shirts. They have a big tour this weekend with their adventure tours, and they want to be sure that they're able to rep the company. I don't know if you guys could see that well. Let me switch over here if you could see this one. Or if I hold something up behind it, maybe you could see it better. Instead of just wheeling it around. Let's see there. Yeah, so 4 colors in the design, and your customer says, I just need a couple of them. If you don't have a direct-to-garment printer, even if you do have a direct-to-garment printer, it's going to be like $40 per shirt when you're sending those out, especially on like a navy. You have to print that thick white underbase on there. That's costing money, taking time. With this, all you do is order it. If you order it before 11 a.m., it's going to ship the next day. So when the next day it's shipping out, if you live anywhere close in Ohio, I know we have some Lorraine friends. Now listen, Lorraine friend, you might know I live in Westlake. I actually commute from Westlake to Menor every single day, which is a huge drive, but I do it because I love what I do. I love working here, and I love helping you guys out. I mean, we're hanging out on a Friday. It's, for some of us, not in Arizona, it's getting near the end of the day, the end of the work week. We might have a few more hours for our West Coast friends out there. But still, it's Friday. Let's hang out. Let's make your t-shirt business better. And yeah, if you guys have challenges, successes, any of those stories, I always love hearing them because then it helps other people. And I will say, before I scroll back to the comment section in the chat here, the heat printing community, I've been a musician, I've been in tons of hobbies, and there is no community like heat printers who are more of a community in sharing ideas and helping each other out than anywhere else on this planet. Because we are, in fact, competition to each other. Every single one of us are trying to print t-shirts and trying to sell those t-shirts to make money. Every single one of us here. So, we are competition to each other. In music, we're not actually competition to each other. We should be collaborative. We should be helping each other, but it was a competition. Oh man, that band got that gig. Oh, they're playing that venue. Oh, they suck, man. That's what you heard from every single band that I ever ran into. It was very rare that people were like, let's collaborate. We need more of that sharing. Sharing is caring, but we need more of that sharing of knowledge everywhere in our lives, and I found it in the heat printing community. You guys are absolutely awesome, helping each other out, sharing ideas, even not just for t-shirt ideas or inspiration, but like, hey, this marketing strategy worked for me. And you see this community of YouTubers and content creators that do the same thing, that are sharing their ideas. Stan Banks and Big Brando, who are sharing their ideas and telling people how to better their business, not just with product. And that's something that I really try to focus on here. Yeah, we have products and they're going to help your business, but what's really going to help your business is learning how to price your apparel so that you're actually paying yourself correctly, that you can make money, that you can invest back into your business or be able to quit your full-time job and run a business and make profit and make money. And of course, it's not just about the money, it's what you're doing it for. Are you wanting to spend more time with your family? I'd love to spend more time with my family. I'm sure you would too, unless, you don't like your family. That's fine. Spend more time doing what you love doing, and printing t-shirts and helping people out is what I love doing. So I don't mind my long commute at all to wrap that one back around. But man, I really appreciate you guys here. Let's see. Oh, some more barbecue talk there. Yep, we all have our own preference. I'll tell you, I don't know. There's a few barbecue restaurants here in Ohio, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Nothing beats when I lived in South Carolina, in Charleston. The barbecue there was slamming. It was awesome. Went to Texas last year for impressions, and it blew that out of the water. Now the only one I have left to taste, well, I guess I need the Tennessee, the Memphis barbecue, and I need to try that Kansas City in Kansas City, or St. Louis. Is it the same? If anybody's from that Midwest area, Kelly Walters, where are you at to tell me about all of that? Let's see. Yeah, you have the option, ultra color and goof proof, just depending on what you're doing, full-blown country. That is absolutely, and that's what we want to be able to offer you. I come from the Plastisol screen printing world, so that Plastisol ink runs in my veins. I want to print with it as much as I can, and to be completely honest, when I joined the team here at Transfer Express, I was blown away by goof proof. Like, this doesn't look like a transfer. This looks like a screen print. Feels super soft, almost like a soft hand screen print. It's not thick like Plastisol. You don't get that cat tonguing if you don't have the screen mesh or your off contact right if you are a traditional screen printer with ink. It's just so much easier to use too. It took me months to learn how to screen print in my bedroom, in my basement, in my kitchen table, burning screens in the bathroom and washing them out in the bathtub. But it took me weeks to be able to pull a like sellable product. Everything was a little misprinted. Man, that got out of registration. I got ink on the bottom of the screen and smudged it everywhere. And then I finally got the technique down. You get the squeegee angle. I could have avoided all of that because the investment that I put into screens and inks and emulsion and all that stuff, stencils and all that stuff that I had to do, I should have just spent the money on a heat press and I would have been pulling off. I would not pulling ink at all. No messy cleanup. No wife yelling at me. Why can't she open the door to the bathroom? Because there's screens exposing in there. They're drying. You can't. You're gonna burn. You're gonna ruin them if you let light in there. So with this, none of that hassle. This could have sat in the corner of a living room, a dining room. Put it away in the closet when you're not working on it. Pull it out and be able to print retail ready shirts. It changed it made me think, what have I been doing with my life? Until I discovered this stuff. So let's see, 100 sheets of Ultra Color Soft today. Yes, some photorealistic stuff. And yeah, Ultra Color Soft, I love it still. It's a great product for that full color, and nothing beats that like matte finish. For most jobs, it will absolutely do the trick. It could get a little pricey if you just have limited color, or if you're doing a small run, but 100 sheets, that's definitely where you are maximizing your money. You bought the right product. You're gonna have a good time with that one there. Let's see. Can you do this distress print on Ultra Color Pro without having design approval first? Absolutely, yes. All of the textures, all of that design stuff. Do I have one here? I don't think any of these do have any distressing, but yes, there is no artwork step. You could throw all of the distressing and all of the tools in EasyView Online Designer, anything at Pro or Soft, and we'll be able to knock that out and print it perfectly. With Max, just because we need to make sure those edges are sharp and keep minimum detail to a certain set size, because the adhesive is choked in on it, we want to make sure that you are getting a print that's going to last on there, so that's why you cannot do distressing on Max. There's some fine detail, like I told you, that I was able to get away with a little bit of texture. Like I did one with like an American flag, but it was kind of like distressed, and it had like almost like painted, and so it kind of had like brush strokes almost on the end of it, and all of the fine detail on that has been holding on now, yeah, probably almost 10 washes now, and it's been holding on, still looks fantastic. So that's a big deal there with that one too. Let's see, Distress with Ultra Color Pro, yep, did that one. Oh yeah, let's see, when you go over how to press, can you include how to do it on a cheap press clamshell compared to a Stahl's press? There's a different temperature setting for other transfers, I think. Yes, so Christopher, what we're gonna do is just bump the temperature up 10 degrees. We do have a craft press somewhere in the studio, but we're going to be releasing a video on it for beginner printing, and I'll show you in that video. That'll be coming next week right here on the YouTube, but we do use the craft press because typically we do use the Hotronix brand. We carry the Hotronix on our site, but we also carry, it is a Hotronix made craft press, so it's just the little tiny pink press. And yes, if you don't have that Hotronix brand, we always recommend just 10 degrees. We are confident in the heating element of the Hotronix presses, and so we test everything with a Hotronix press, and not just this type of press. We test them on the Fusions, we test them on the Maxes, so anything in that range. It's just sometimes, especially, we had to put that disclaimer because Amazon. So a couple years ago, heat presses on Amazon just kind of blew up. It was almost right before the pandemic, and it kind of hit that pinnacle during the pandemic when a lot of people were at home trying to live their dreams and saying, hey, well, I got some time now, let me start my t-shirt business that I always wanted to start. And they started buying these heat presses from Amazon. Well, those cheap heat presses aren't the best build quality. When you're spending like $100 on a heat press versus $1,800 on a heat press, it's a big difference in quality. On the Stahl's TV YouTube channel, which is linked in our profile here, there's actually a video of Josh Ellsworth cutting them in half. So he cuts a Hotronix in half, and he cuts one of those other Amazon presses in half. And you'll see that, let me go over to camera 2 here if you could see the press. So number one was the size of the heating element. So the heating element on a Hotronix press, I believe, is 3/4 inches, so almost a full inch of actual size. You can kind of see it on the rim here. This is screaming hot, so I'm not going to touch this thing. But the heating element comes up real high. The actual heating element, so the coil that's in there, is woven back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, where some of those other ones, it's just, I could point here. So if the Hotronix coil goes back and forth the whole way, and so you have a nice, firm, even heating area from corner to corner, edge to edge, and even in the middle, those cheaper ones usually have a line around the outside and then an X shape or something in the middle. So there are cold spots to your press. So then you're going to have, those spots aren't going to carry the heat quite as well. So that's why you have to increase the temperature to make sure that, some areas might be a little bit hotter, but overall, over the entire area of the platen, that it is nice and hot. Now, another thing is that thickness of the heating element that I had mentioned. Those are typically about a 1/4 inch thick, with the heating element actually on top, like on the back side of it. So under this cover, instead of just a solid 3/4 inch piece of steel or aluminum or whatever they make this thing out of, it's a 1/4 inch with a coil then like on top. So it's not necessarily like a cast iron skillet where like you heat it up, it gets hot and it stays hot all over. It's more like just a regular cheap pan where like you'll get hot spots on it and cold spots on it, and it's not a firm, even heat over the entire area. And that's what you want. So that's why we recommend boosting the temperature, especially because screen printed transfers require a firm pressure and that heat because the inks actually have to liquefy. You're not just kind of getting that adhesive to melt like when you're printing vinyl where you could just, use an iron. And that's why we don't really recommend using an iron here with our screen printed transfers, because you do need that firm, even heat all over. You need to make sure the inks are kind of liquefying and then they sink down in the garment, and that's how you get that quality retail ready result there. All right, let's see. We can do the distress. And so Full Blown Country has a great thing in there for you, Christopher, is those laser thermometers. So using the laser thermometers is great, but what's even better is the heat press test strips or a probe thermometer. So the heat press test strips you put down on your platen and close the press. So it's actually going to measure the amount of heat it gets with the pressure that you have set, which is mimicking exactly what that transfer is going to feel, right? So with the IR thermometers, they're great for quick kind of looks, but a lot of heat presses have a non-stick coating on the heating element, which then is going to reflect the light and the IR, kind of light that it's shooting at it to be able to reflect back. And so you're not going to get a super, super accurate. I always like to say there's a 20-degree range, about 10 hot and 10 cool, that you're going to get, at least with the IR thermometer that I have. I think it's just like one of the cheapies, 20 bucks off Amazon or something. That got hot now. But yeah, that one, it works fairly well, but the probe thermometers, they're like $100. So I don't really recommend you buying them. Those heat press test strips are much more economical, but they're not reusable. So the probe thermometer is actually like it almost looks like a multimeter, but then it has like a little knob at the end of it, and you could touch it to the platen all over, and it's going to tell you that exact temperature of what the surface temperature is at. But the probe ones, they get the job done, but if you're still having issues, get one of those other methods. But say your press, even sometimes Hotronics, as they age or as components wear out, of course, they're all under warranty on that, and the Hotronics support is going to help you out, so you're not caught out in the blue with like one of those other presses. But sometimes the heat press will be way hotter than it says it is, or way cooler. And when you have one of those IR thermometers, that's the easiest way to know. It says it's 300 on the display. You hit it with the IR thermometer and it says, no, it's actually at 100. Then something is wrong. But that's really where those are going to spotlight those issues and allow you to help out. Let's see. If you order this afternoon, does it ship on Monday? It depends what product type that you're going to be using. So let's say if it's Ultra Color Max, we're past production cutoff right now for all of our products. So it would, like anything you order right now will be like you're ordering it on Monday. So if you order it on Monday, it's going to ship Tuesday. So if you order right now, it's not shipping Monday, it's shipping Tuesday, just because the weekend, we're not printing on the weekend. So throwing the 2 days in there on the weekend makes it feel way longer than it actually is. But if you want extra time to work on your artwork, just make sure you get it in Monday morning before 11 a.m. and then it'll ship Tuesday. Or if you have your artwork set and you just want to get it taken care of and enjoy your weekend and not have to worry about it, go ahead and order it right now. It's going to ship Tuesday and then be anywhere in the United States in our shipping area by, what is that, Thursday? Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, it'll arrive to you Thursday. So that's the problem with the weekends, though. But if you ordered on Monday, it would arrive to you Thursday anywhere in the United States. Or if you're local to pick up anywhere, like if you're ordering a one-color goof proof right now, you could pick it up in Chandler, Arizona on Tuesday. So real nice and quick there. Billion Dollar Smile, just started printing, have been an artist my whole life. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There's this huge movement now of like traditional artists and gallery artists and street artists getting into clothing because it is such an accessible medium to sell your art that it's really cool. I went to art school for design, and so I know the art world, and that's how I got into the printing world with, I mean, when you're doing a lot of design, you get kind of used to printing and being around printers and screen printing and t-shirt designs and flyers and stickers. So that's how I got pulled into the printing world. And now it's ingrained in me. It's who I am. Everybody that I know is like, oh, it's Dave, the t-shirt guy. I'm the t-shirt guy. I'll be the t-shirt guy. Let's see. I want to make sure we are talking questions. Man, you guys are awesome in the chat today. It's awesome to see you here. Happy Friday. Just in Memphis, and whoa, they have some of the best barbecue sauce that I've ever had. And I've been to Texas. We got to try it. I got to try it. We're going to go to St. Louis. We're going to go to Memphis, get all the barbecue, because the Carolina barbecue does have a special place in my heart because I spent so much time there. But yeah, we could talk about barbecue all day. That's why I love these. They go off on whatever tangent we want to go. We have fun on this. What about hats? Other than trucker hats, what's a good type to buy for transfers? Just got a hat press. So that's kind of a real loaded question. Whatever you could find in stock right now, that's the best hat. Hat stock is coming back, but I know the Richardson 112s were super popular. Of course, certain transfer types will bridge seams A-OK, just like the Ultra Color Max. It bridges the seam on a hat, bridges the seam on apparel. Great. That's going to be the great way to do it. Screen printed transfers on those seams and stuff, the 6 panels, not the 5 panels, you're going to have to contend with that seam. But what we've seen a lot is the single panel prints, so the kind of off center. If you're just printing on one center or one piece of the hat, absolutely everything works there. If you are really looking into some cool hat decorations, head on over to stalls.com, because they do have the leather and the faux leather and the flex style and the embroidered heat patches that you could apply. And man, those things are really cool. But if you have you kind of need the lower heat. So like the Fusion IQ 360, the IQ 360 hat press, that has that lower heated platen that really makes it so super easy to do those heat applied patches, because you need that lower heat where that adhesive is, because other than that, you have this huge 3D emblem on top of it. You put a foam pad over that's really kind of blocking the heat. People have been able to apply those patches properly with top heat only, but the bottom heat just makes it so easy. I love that rounded platen shape so you don't get the crease in it. But I will say, because I love embroidery on hats, that those are the easiest way to do it without investing in embroidery setup or learning how to digitize files. Send the artwork in just like you order our transfers. You send it to Stalls and they're able to take care of that and get it to you. I will say transfer types though for foam front trucker hats, goof proof. I've done probably at this point over the past year like 300 hats with goof proof. I use the Port & Company C937. So it's a flex fit style hat. And it's the lightest trucker hat. Like, I'm not a hat guy, but I love this hat because it has a nice like buckle in the back that's adjustable, and it does unsnap if you want to put your ponytail in it or whatnot. I obviously don't have a ponytail. But if you want to do that, it unsnaps. It's real easy to put on there. It's actually crushable, so you could just throw it in your bag. My one buddy who does mountain biking absolutely loves it, and then saw one of the hats that I did for a friend and was like, I need these hats now. I need to buy my own. I love this hat. My family loves this hat. I could throw it in the bag when I go mountain biking, throw it in the backpack, not worry about it getting ruined. And I think that's the C937. I found it on transferexpress.com in our wholesale apparel section, and it was just like, it was the first foam front trucker hat that was actually in stock. So I was like, you know what? Let's give this one a shot. Bought a few things of it, and then boom. But if you actually search right here on our YouTube channel, hat printing with a 360 goof proof on hats, or I don't know exactly what it is, but if you search anything like that, I'm sure it's going to come up. I print goof proof on those foam front trucker hats, and they look absolutely phenomenal. And it's like a polyester foam, able to do goof proof at that low temperature setting, so I'm not scorching the hat. The 360 especially on some of those foam front trucker hats, you have to be careful of the hard edges of the platen if you're using one of the large cap platens, because it will crease that foam. And once that foam is creased, it's not coming out. Even the style that I was using, I learned this trick where if you touch the hat when it was hot, like the foam of the hat, it would dimple, and the dimple would stay there forever. So you have to be real ginger pulling the transfer off, but I got a nice way to get it down. Ultra Color Max 2, absolutely phenomenal on hats, and even our CAD prints, which is just a printed vinyl. If you really want to put that on there, that's more in line with the Bass Pro Shop hats. Those are not foam front, they are like that structured trucker cap style, but that is more similar to that printed vinyl or something like an Ultra Color Max, where you're able to just smack that on, low temperature application, you're not ruining the hat, and a nice easy transfer type to use there. Let's see here. Let's see. Supply a lot of YouTube creator channels with their merch. A nice little game I found myself in. That is absolutely awesome. I didn't do it, but Jenna actually did a class at the Impressions Expo in Long Beach about that exact thing. Really, she was kind of positioning it more towards creators, like, look how easy it is to make your own merch, but it was more geared towards the, hey, you have a following, you have a built-in audience, sell merch and make money. Sure, YouTube advertising money is great for especially like a single content creator. That is fantastic, but you're not going to be paying the bills with just ads on YouTube unless you're getting millions and millions of views. But if you have an avid fan base and people who love your brand and what it represents, and they understand you, they connect with you, sell merch, and that's a great way to get into it. I'd love to hear how that started. If it was just like one person that you started doing stuff with and somebody else was like, man, that t-shirt looks awesome, where are you getting it? And you got your name tossed into the ring, because that's where it exponentially grows. You get your name out there with one person. And really, it's, sometimes it's luck, but a lot of times it's hard work, and it's that hustle that day in and day out, and then one day it all clicks, it pays off, and now you got an entire stable of clients who are coming to you every single week or every month with some t-shirt ideas. That's really like going for landscapers or trades in your local area if you're just getting started. One of my favorite things, like you have a landscaper, or like even like the exterminators, the guys who come out and spray the insect spray over the outside of your house, AC repair guys, you have to have these people in your life, and they're going to be coming into your house, and you're going to be paying money to their business. Ask them, hey, who's doing your shirts? Hey man, I see that your shirt's getting a little ragged. Do you know who does your shirts? Could you put me in contact with somebody? I'd love to give you guys a quote. Don't ask for money off or anything like that, or the landscapers who are always around. Just print it. Sometimes even with like Ultra Color Max or with the space on a gang sheet, and you go, man, this landscaping company, we kind of had talks, they stalled out, but you have extra space on your gang sheet, throw some of their prints on there, and yeah, it might cost you a little bit of money, but when you close that sale by being like, hey, these are the new t-shirts that I designed for you guys, I think you guys would look great in them, and what's the worst they're gonna say? No, we already have a guy. A lot of times they're gonna go, man, you put thought into this. You thought about the business, and you understand what our guys want to wear. It's like a dry fit or like a performance, the long sleeve, like UV stuff, especially for a lot of landscapers, roofers, anybody out in the sun. Get it printed on one of those, the UV resistant, the SPF 50 shirts. I don't know if they're actually SPF, but they're like the sun shirts, like fishermen wear and stuff like that. Print on that. The guy wears it one day and goes, yep, we got to buy him for the whole crew. We'll pay whatever it takes. I love this shirt. And then you just won that job off of space that you were paying for anyway on the gang sheet, able to just fit a little thing in there. Or even with Ultra Color Max now, you could spend $25 printing a few different logo variations, give them 6 different shirts, maybe a hat too. Hey, these are the capabilities of what I could do for you and your business. Let me know. I'd love to quote out your specific project. And you're going to close that sale. I promise you, you're going to close that sale. Not every time, but I'm going to say 50% of the time you're going to close that sale. When somebody sees the work and dedication that you put in, completely unsolicited, unasked, you just go in, hey, I'm a customer of yours, saw your shirts, I thought they'd look better like this. Yes, absolutely. I thought this quality might fit your workers better. I thought your guys might be a little bit more comfortable. Man, you're thinking about me and my company? Who are you? That's awesome, man. And they're going to choose you unless they're really ingrained or have great prices. But even then, hey, what are you guys paying? I could see if I could beat it. Don't beat it. See if you could beat it. Because don't sell yourself short. You guys deserve to make money for what you're doing. All right, let's go back to the chats here. Let's see. We got hats. I want to say Stalls is my go-to supplier for all my transfers and equipment. Saw you guys in Long Beach this past February. See you again in Fort Worth in September. So, full-blown country. I'm going to be down there. Dave, come see me. We're going to hang out. I know Made Lab and Printed Threads, Brett Bowden, Tom Davenport, that whole crew down there, they throw one heck of a party in the middle of that. So, find me at the Transfer Express booth. Find me there. We could chat. I love to talk anything about t-shirt printing, design. I'll nerd out about it, and barbecue. Tell me where to go. We'll go to get barbecue together. Let's see here. Probe thermometer equals how you test barbecue temperature. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and in Long Beach. I was at Long Beach too this year in the Transfer Express booth. It was awesome out there in California. We were a little bit smaller because that was there was a huge resurgence of the coronavirus in LA County at that time. So kind of put a damper on a little bit of the fun, but we still had an awesome time. It was awesome to get out there too in California in the middle of January or February or late January, February, when it's freezing here in Ohio. So it was nice to get out, see some palm trees, some nice weather, wear some shorts and short sleeve t-shirts for once in there. That's awesome. Dave, if you make a mistake and place an order, but you realize you think you correct it, but the correction is not fixed, how could you correct it before you guys make it? Hit us up immediately. Give us a call. Calling is going to be the fastest way, or chat in. Now, because printing, and this works for all of the print shops, I've worked at 4 different print shops in my entire life, this one included, but when you approve your artwork or send it in and submit it and it says your art's going to enter production, sometimes those gears are rolling and you can't stop the gears. But as soon as you think there's a mistake, give us a call, because if your order has not been prepped yet, we could re-prep it. If your order has not been printed, we could reprint it, or not reprint it. We can't do that. That's those wheels in motion. But let us know as soon as you know. Live chat on the website, or give us a call, because we have tons of reps always available on the phone who are going to be able to help you out if your order hasn't been processed yet, or if you place an order and have a question. And of course, if your order arrives, always hit up that resolution center in your dealer dashboard, because we want to take care of you. We want to support you. Whether it's just, hey, I'm having trouble applying this. It could be something as simple as, are you pre-pressing your shirt? No, I'm not. Get that moisture out, because it's super humid outside right now. Something simple like that. Or if there is something defective with the transfer, very rarely it happens, but it does happen. And we're not going to leave you out in the cold. We're going to fix it for you. Even say like you had that Ultra Color Soft, and you printed a few shirts, and man, it's not peeling off of it. I waited till it cooled down, it's not peeling, and now you're ruining shirts. Sometimes in the right scenarios just like that, if it's our fault and we test the transfers and it doesn't work, we're going to even refund you the shirts that you ruined too. We stand behind our products. We want you to feel confident with our products representing your business, so we will stand behind you. Use that dealer dashboard. But give us a call right now. Courtney and the entire Transfer Express team on the phones is going to be able to fix the issue if there is still time. They will try everything they can to fix that issue for you. Let's see. Yesterday on the webinar, you mentioned someone that shows how to print on caps with your heat press if you don't have a cap press yet. What was the Facebook info again? So that is Skip Dayton Davis. I think his name is just Skip Davis. He might be out of Dayton, or that might actually be his middle name or his favorite city, or he just likes the Wright brothers or something. I don't know. But Skip Dayton Davis on the Heat Press for Profit Facebook page. He has his own methods for being able to print hats and caps, and even like the flex style patches on beanies and stuff. He has videos on how he does it. Now, I can't vouch for the quality or how long they hold up, but I know Skip has an awesome actual t-shirt business that he thrives, and he does a great job. So I'm imagining that those are adhered on there and they're not going anywhere, because if you're not having good application, your customers aren't happy and they're not coming back to buy more. But if you're doing it right, like Skip is, it's working for him, and he loves, and that's the heat pressing community. He absolutely loves sharing his techniques that are way out of the box, and us at Stalls or Transfer Express would never actually endorse, but it works for him. Other creators end up doing it, and then it works great. So that's the Heat Press for Profit page. Also, if you're Transfer Express customer, we have our own private group called Easy Prints Dealers on Facebook. It is a closed private group so that any of your Facebook friends, if they follow your business or follow you, don't know that you're interacting with any other pages, or they cannot join it and see when we're talking about different transfer types or what's in stock, or hey, I need a comparable style. The XLs are out of this Gildan 5000 in navy. What is the closest? And immediately there's 8, 10 comments, 12 comments on these things of other decorators jumping in. But that's just a testament to how awesome the heat printing community is, that you guys are here. You're in good hands. I gotta say, I love your dedication here to learning too, hanging out with us, answering questions, and bettering your business. Hopefully you're winding down for the week and not in the middle of a huge run. But if you're in the middle of a huge run, yes, more power to you. Keep that press rolling. I'll give it a press with you. Let's go back to the chat here. So Full Blown Country, it did start with one person. And I went to a YouTube creator meetup. I gave away a lot of my own merch and it took off from there. I also support several churches, local bars, and grills. Yes, the local community, local bars, grills, tattoo shops, landscapers, contractors, anything like that. But that's it too. You go out as a t-shirt business, you have an awesome design. You're a custom decorator. You have an awesome design though that represents your brand. Start throwing t-shirts out. That's the best way. That's what we do at Transfer Express even. When we go to all these shows, when we go to Long Beach, when we go to Impressions, if you stop by the booth, I'm going to make sure you leave with at least a t-shirt that is printed, that you printed right there on site. Because if you've never seen our products before, you're like, is it gonna hold up? It's a transfer. I'm used to screen printing. Is it gonna hold up? Does it feel good? Here, throw it in your bag. You printed it. You saw how fast it was. There's no smoke. There's no mirrors. It's not magic. You saw how great it printed. Take it home, wash it, throw it in the washer, abuse it like your customers would, and you'll see that, man, this is a product that I could hang my hat on, I could hang my company's hat on, and I could have this product represent my brand with half the work. We even see a lot of large contract screen printing shops, as labor's been kind of hard to find the past year, past couple months, getting that skilled labor in your shop to be able to pull those retail ready prints is a little bit harder than it has been. So they're shifting over to using heat transfer, simple one color orders, the stuff that's super easy to just get in and out the door. They're ordering transfers and printing with transfers. And I even saw Rock, who makes the big oval, big huge commercial screen printing presses, has been playing around with a like heat stamper so that they could do heat applied application in line on the automatic screen printing presses. So heat transfers, especially direct-to-film and plastisol transfers, are really leading the way with decoration capabilities for businesses of all sizes, not just the big ones. Let's see, but that's awesome, awesome, awesome. You talk to me in Long Beach? Yes. We're gonna talk again in Impressions in Fort Worth and eat some barbecue. Let's do that. And anybody else here, if you're coming to Impressions, we'll get a barbecue party going one of the nights that we're there. We're all gonna go out, get some barbecue, maybe hit up the stockyards, get wild. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know what I could say actually on a company live stream, but we could get barbecue. We could have a little decoration community, get barbecue, share some ideas. We'll all get barbecue sauce on our t-shirts and we'll have to print more. Sound good? And we'll head over to Brett Bowden's shop, Printed Threads, the Made Lab, and we'll print some more shirts. Or we'll just go back to the convention center, print them in the booth, and we'll get it going. Full Blown Country, I hope that you got the you got a sample of the Ultra Color Max that we had out in Long Beach. That was right when we were debuting the product and we were printing both Goof Proof and the Ultra Color Max. I loved the graphic that we brought there with the gradient and the palm trees. That was so much fun. Loved that one. We added that right into EasyView Online Designer right before that event too, or right after that event, because I don't even think we launched Max yet. We were just kind of showing it off, but it was really, really cool in there. Can we get the shipping wave discount for the application kit today? We can't. I got in trouble for that. Oh, so yesterday on the webinar, I put we had an offer in there for the application kit because we were talking about like the application ruler. Man, Make a Play admin, if you do it right now, and I could, after the live ends, and I could go run and cancel out that shipping, I might be able to do it. No guarantees, but I might be able to get it done. Just if you order it, make sure you tell me in the chat so I could immediately beeline before a customer service rep grabs that and we could try to honor that free shipping. But I did get in a little bit of trouble for that, but I want to help people out. When you guys see, and like that's the thing, I want to help you out. You're here spending your Friday with me. I want to help you out as much as I can, and that was definitely on the limit of let's just say I had a stern talking to after giving out discounts. Just, hey, anybody get free shipping, and that's a flat rate $15 fee. It comes in a big box, like a big Transfer Express box, that are not, they're like pizza boxes. They're not cheap to ship, and so, yeah, I heard about that one this morning from the higher ups, but I'll take the brunt of that for you guys. Hopefully nobody else is watching from Transfer Express right now, because if they are, I might be giving away more free shipping. Shh. Oh, let's see. The pop of that press was perfect. It was, wasn't it? I saw you guys at Long Beach, and only my wife got a shirt because I only wear a 2X. Yeah, we only wear larges. And that's the thing, though, that like it's not an extra large, it's not a medium, but we want to give you at least an example. If you're not going to wear it yourself, at least an example that you could just keep. I have one shirt because I'm doing wash testing at home. We wash test everything here with like commercial washers and like some super high heats, and we like abuse t-shirts in our wash testing lab. And then we even have an independent facility in Michigan that also confirms all of our wash testing. But I like to see it for myself. The stuff that I applied and maybe applied a little bit too long, or want to see if like, oh man, I really cooked that goof proof for twice as long as it should. How does it look? We actually are working. I have all those wash testings that are going on for a video that we'll be releasing probably in a month or so here on the YouTube. And we're gonna go through the wash testing and what it looks like when you over-cure or under-apply transfers. So you could look out for that and then compensate with your press to do that. So make sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel. But I have a couple shirts that are always in the laundry room, which is just my basement. It's just when you call it a laundry room, it sounds fancier. But it's in my basement, and there's always a shirt or two that's on the washer or dryer, and any load of colors and light garments that are going there, man, it's going right in. I'm not turning it inside out like we tell people with any screen printed shirt. Turn it inside out, wash with light colors, wash cold, and tumble dry low, medium, or hang to air dry. Just because tumble dry low, you don't want to be melting with super, super high heat. It still inks, or even with like vinyl, you will melt that vinyl and get all wrinkly and stuff. So you want to make sure you're tumble dry low, or just hanging it to air dry, and then you reduce the shrinkage in the shirt too. It just lasts longer. T-shirt, especially, I mean, the past 5 years, I feel like people have been really cutting corners for the cheaper end stuff. So like the quality, especially with the pandemic and the supply chain, that people are getting fabrics any way they can, and sometimes they're not checking the quality on them before they get them. And then you're getting weird mis-sewn stuff, or like just holes that start appearing in your clothes. You don't want that to happen. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the print's outlasting the t-shirt. You're getting holes in the sleeves, you're getting holes in the arms, and you're gonna stop wearing the t-shirt before the print really starts fading or cracking anyway. We all have our favorite t-shirt that we still wear, has some holes in it, has, you know, it's getting real thin, it might not fit, the fabric's all stretched out and stuff, but we still wear it. It's our favorite t-shirt. I'm there. I'm a big fan of graphic t-shirts, if you don't know already. But let's see. And I use all the Ultracolor Max products except Stretch, but I will soon. Will the Ultracolor Max Stretch work on caps? For caps, you really shouldn't be using Stretch too much because the Ultracolor Stretch is really that specialty product. So if you haven't been putting on spandex, lycra, or woven nylon, don't worry about ordering Stretch. Very, very specialty product, and it is a premium price for that upgraded decoration method. So if Max has been working for you, stick with Max. If you're doing a big order of Max and it might not be the most economical, or the print cost might be getting a little hard to control with that set square inch pricing, you could turn around and order the Pro. So order the Pro or the Soft. Pro is going to be a much similar experience to Max, where Soft you're going to have to wait for that cold peel, but you get that more matte, velvety touch to the print. That's really, really cool. Let's see here. Yeah, combine multiple orders and save on shipping. It'll ship as one order. That is like one of the best Transfer Express hacks out there. That, and if you're just doing text, recreate it in EasyView Online Designer instead of uploading just a text file, because there's 250 plus fonts in there. Odds are you're going to find one that's almost exact, and then you're going to be able to save money, because we have 3 tiers on our screen print pricing. If it's an Easy Prints order, which is our art, so designed in EasyView Online Designer, that's the lowest of the lowest cost that you could get out the door. It also ships the fastest. So that is Easy Prints pricing. Then we have vector pricing if you're uploading a PDF, SVG, AI file, Corel Draw file. But if you're uploading a CorelDRAW file, just export it as a PDF. And we'll load that one in a little bit more accurately than a CDR file. And then, of course, raster. So your PSDs, your TIFFs, your JPEGs, your PNGs, typically a little bit lower end resolution. And our graphic artists do magic behind the scenes to upsample it or redraw portions of your image so it looks great. Or from a napkin sketch, even that raster pricing, if you just take a photo of a sketch you have and have our artists recreate it, we absolutely, that's all included in that pricing. So we don't want to nickel and dime you with added art fees or anything like that on any of our screen printed orders except Max. Max is the only outlier. If we're talking, that's where that $23 proofing fee is. But at 6 cents a square inch, that's dirt cheap. That is dirt cheap, so that's why it requires print-ready artwork. We want to keep that cost low and make it super accessible to do that full color artwork at super low quantities and still allow you to profit. So that's really, really powerful in there. But that is awesome. That is an awesome tip. I'm glad you mentioned that full-blown country. Seeing that smaller platen in front of you, can you mention how you adjust the pressure, how much do you decrease when going down to an 8x10? That was actually one of the questions. Are you Tim, Skyscraper Management? Because I have a question here about adjusting the pressure with platen size. And it was one that was asked yesterday in the webinar that I wasn't able to get to. So I was going to lead off with it, but here an hour into this one, we're going to get down to the question. So essentially, yes. I always say that you have to adjust the pressure every time you swap the platen out because, as you might be able to see here, and we could switch over here to the press view, but you could see that this is much thicker than this little tiny platen. So when I throw this platen in, I'm going to have to adjust the pressure anyway, regardless of what we're doing. So when you go from a huge, large, full surface area down to a smaller area, you in fact are putting more pressure if it was the same setting. So say this was the same thickness and just we were putting like this 8-inch round bagger here, and we put this one on here. All of the pressure that we were giving to this entire area now is being focused onto this. We're not changing how hard we're pushing down. We're just changing the surface area. So it's like the old adage when like a woman walking just in bare feet doesn't crack a tile, but when she puts all her weight on the back of a high-heeled shoe, when all of her weight goes down to that one point, it cracks the tile because it's more pounds per square inch than what that is rated for. That's very similar to how this works. So on Hotronix presses, you do have, I don't know if you can see it in the camera view here, but you do have the pressure gauge. So right here, if we lock this one down, it's at a 7 pressure. So that's about 60, 70 PSI across the entire platen area. We'll knock this one up, and then we could swap this one out. But yes, so in short, as I'm swapping this out and kind of showing you how to do this, that you do absolutely have to, in most cases, change your pressure. So here, we were just at that, and now, like I said, it's reading a 0. It just closed down easily by itself. I could just hit it barely, and it opens back on up. So let's juice this pressure down here and see if this closes. All right, right there is very firm. I'm at an 8. But because I'm at an 8 and I'm used to putting an 8 over that entire area, now that I've decreased this surface area by about half, what we could do, in fact, is, I don't know, I'm not good at math. That's why I'm an artist, and I got into design and now printing, not the best at math. So whatever this surface area here is half of the surface area of what we had. This was a, let's see, yeah, maybe even almost a quarter of what was there. But let's just say a third of what was on there. So now we could decrease this pressure off. And you could feel it with your press, especially with any manual press. Now, if you have an air fusion or even the fusion with the dual handle that pulls down, that makes even the heaviest pressure feel easy. With an auto clam, you could feel the resistance when you start to push this down. So we were at, what are we at here? We're at an 8. So that's just 1 click higher than the 7 that we were at. This is much harder to push down than what we were at. So we could back this off and feel where that pressure feels the same. So even here, we're still at a 7. That felt hard. Here, there we go. That felt normal, and now we're at a 5. So we did back it off a little bit. You want to be sure not to back it off too much. And usually, if you're printing on cotton 50-50 blends, tri-blends, you're going to be A-OK with, you're going to be A-okay with any platen marks. So you're not going to ruin the garment. Now, when you're putting on 100% polyester or like 90, 95 dominant polyester blends, that's when you're going to see scorching because of that extreme pressure. You might be at 290 degrees. They say like, oh, this will scorch at 320, so just keep it under 320 or 300, and you're at 290, but you're scorching it. You're like, man, what's happening with this? It's because of that pressure that you do have to compensate a little bit off of that. But we got that in there. Yes, yes. So awesome. I'm glad I was able to answer your question that we had from yesterday, and the other question that I had from James, we answered. What's the difference between Pro and Max? So yes, absolutely, you want to be sure you're compensating with that. Now, one question that I asked, last week in a webinar, 2 weeks ago in a webinar, was why isn't the leg and sleeve platen, which is this platen with this super old, this quick slip pad protector is super old. They're not gold anymore. They're all silver like this one is what these, that's still hot. From being pressed on. All the new ones are silver. But the leg and sleeve platen, someone asked, they were looking at picking it up and they had an auto clam and said, why is this not recommended for an auto clam? I have the interchangeable platen, why shouldn't I get it? And this is why. So when we go back to the press, we throw this leg and sleeve platen right on here, we lock it back down, we actually have to load the entire platen over, like the entire shirt over top of this. Let's see if I have a long sleeve. I do have a long sleeve. So if we wanted to load this on here, we could get about that far before we have to go over this bottom portion. And yeah, maybe we could stretch this all out, but now I'm already putting too much pressure, and we're stretching that shirt out. So we're stretching the neck hole, and still, this is as far as I could get up on it. We have a lot of sleeve left on there. So they're really only recommended for the fusion presses because of like the gooseneck. They have a little gooseneck that comes up, a little U shape that comes up, and then it's just one solid little, one little bar of metal instead of like these wide feet here at the bottom. If you could see this here. And so we don't have to worry about getting on that. But that's why we don't really recommend the leg and sleeve platen if you do have an auto clam. But I showed an awesome little kind of tip that we could do when you're printing long sleeves without having to buy another platen. So I'm just going to swap this out back for our big full-size platen. Drop that one back in there. And this is an awesome little tip right here, is using the fold. So right here, we have this fold already on our t-shirt coming down from this top of the sleeve seam. So we have this seam, and there's already this fold from the manufacturer, so we just put it right here. And since I already have this popped up, I'm going to print this one for you guys. This is the exact same example that I used yesterday, but essentially what we're going to do, stay about an inch away because we see how this is kind of buckling up as this sleeve comes down to the cuff and it's sewn in. We want to keep that off so we keep that nice, even, flat printing area. Now I am going to have to adjust my pressure because I juiced it down. So we're just going to put this back. I'll take the shirt off the platen here. Make sure we're at a 5. Let's go ahead. Bump it up a little bit more. An 8's going to be okay. Maybe a 7. We'll back it off just a tiny little touch there as well. So here, we're just going to put this one on the platen. And I'm going to get as close as I can up to this top seam. Because when you are standing, so the bones in your forearm actually twist depending on how your arm is moving. And that's kind of the same thing. So that outside seam actually starts to go to the back if you're standing here like this. Like most people stand, you don't stand with like your hands forward and bent over. You stand there with your hands to your side, and then so your arm is already kind of moving to the back. So the seam isn't directly right on the outside of your arm. The seam as in this outside fold that I'm talking about, because there is a seam on the underside. So when we print just real close up to that seam, it's actually cheating the front just a tiny bit. So when we stand normally, it looks as if it is right on the outside, and it's even more visible. But we're going to do this down towards this side. Let's switch back to our press camera right here. And there we go. All nice and good. I'm going to pre-press this, removing any moisture and wrinkles. Of course, it's super humid here in Ohio, so we want to make sure that we get all of that moisture out. We don't need all that time on there, but there we go. Nice, and that's even wet. I could feel the moisture coming out of this thing. I'm actually going to press it again. And I'm going to hope that, that this transfer that's been laying around on my desk and getting shuffled around is not damaged. It looks good. It's the one that I was using, the Ultracolor Max, and they're actually quite durable for what they are, being able to print this one. So I'm just going to grab this and make sure it opens up. There we go, a little bit more dry, but that's still super wet, man. It's so humid out here, but that's why you have to pre-press these garments. So I'm going to take our Ultracolor Max Transfer, and we're going to align it right to the top edge. If you guys could see that, right where my print placement went. And we want to make sure that we're getting as close as we can up there. I was going to say I could throw this this shirt on so you could see exactly how it works, but I have a microphone on and everything here. That's going to be a little bit difficult to do. I'll post a picture. I'll post a picture in the community page. If you go on over to the community page here on YouTube, I can post a picture of how this is going to look when it turns out. But you're going to see that it's going to look great. And then you don't have to worry about this seam here at the bottom, because even if you were trying to print directly on that, that's right underneath. If you were to flatten the shirt or flatten that top seam out, that seam's going to be right under the print area where you're trying to print that. So right here, we have it set 290 degrees. 15 seconds for our Ultracolor Max, and this is just how easy it applies. We'll go ahead and lock that one down. I'll go to the chat while this one's still doing. AutoClam is one good workhorse press. It absolutely is. I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's see. Started small on Etsy. I'm going to get to that question here in a minute, but this is a hot peel transfer, so we're just going to peel this carrier away immediately. And just like that, a nice smooth carrier, no ink whatsoever left behind, and we have a beautiful print right there on that sleeve. Now, I don't mean to get this all shaken up, but let's pull this up like we're actually wearing it. So that's the opposite sleeve. So you could see already if it's on the outside. Actually, let me just put the sleeve on. We could do that, right? We'll switch right here. And let me put this sleeve on. So this is the shoulder seam right up top, okay? Right where it's going to be worn. And just like that, that's exactly where it's going to look. So right there on the side, we did that so quick, no loading on and off of a platen, and it looks fantastic right down there. I hope this is up like I'm wearing it, because this should actually be up much higher. But you can see that it looks awesome on the sleeve. Your customer's never going to know and be like, it's not centered on the sleeve. They're not going to know. It's going to look great. And you say, throw the t-shirt on. How does it look? I have to cheat it because I can't get all the way up. Right like that. Looks great, doesn't it? Did I just manhandle the microphone here? I didn't mean to do that. But it looks great. Right on the sleeve. Hit it up. And there you go. There's your sleeve print. Super, super easy and printed with the Ultracolor Max. How easy is that? Now, even this is a thick one, too. This is like 3 inches high on a print. So this is like borderline kind of the maximum width that I like to go. I like that kind of 2.5 inch with the letters, maybe without the adventure tours on it, if it was just the Blue Ridge. Of course, this pushed us away a little bit from the seam, and you could see that seam actually real good in the light, in that lighting. I hope you guys could see that. That you could see right where that seam, that cuff was when we printed it. And here's the seam on the bottom side, so that you have to contend with if you are printing directly on that. So that's why you need that fully threadable sleeve, but you don't want to be stretching the sleeves out. This is, I tore the tag off of it yesterday during the webinar, but I believe this is a large shirt. So yeah, I could fit this. Where's the TikTok transition when you throw it on you and it's automatically on? You can't do that in real life, can you? I'm not a magician. But right there, looks absolutely phenomenal. That one's awesome. I'm gonna go back to the chat here. Let's see, Skyscraper, I hope that was a yes. I am Tim. I asked that yesterday. When I order emblems for caps, will they process and ship the same 2-day schedule as the transfers I normally order? No. So the 2-day transfer, or the 2-day times, and even the next day that Stalls offers, the flex style, the embroidered patches and stuff, run on their own turn time schedule. I believe that is right on the product page on stalls.com. And so that will have the updated turn time for you. They also do like sampling with that, where it's like 25 bucks or something for samples, and that's a really cool way to pitch your customers too, if you have that added expense in there. Let's say that's how I do sleeves and legs on the AutoClam. Just use the fold and double up. The easiest way. You could roll through them. All the customers love them, and they're even more visible when you're looking at somebody, especially if it's like that same branding that's on the left chest or full front. It just looks so awesome when somebody comes walking up with that sleeve print, and we see a lot of them coming back. The big thing that I like, that it's I think driven by the NFL, is like the Nike, the Reebok, like the bicep print on long sleeves. It's cool. It's really hard to hit that area. You kind of have to put it on a mannequin or put it on yourself and measure down from the shoulder seam. And then you switch garments or switch sizes and you kind of have to do it again because it does differ. And you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. Especially if it's going for a team, you want everybody to look uniform. You want everybody to look the same. So it's very, very important to get that same spot on placement every time. But here, say if we're just going that 2 fingers up from the sleeve, super, super easy to nail that placement every time. You have that fold on the top as your guide, and you're all set right there, ready to go. That's why we love TE. Thanks for sharing the education. I'm happy to help you guys. This is going to be a little personal, but I've always been terrified and super scared of failure, and I've tried several times, especially during the pandemic, like, let's start up my own business. While I was laid off, like, hey, let's start up your own business. And I put everything into it, and I was still terrified to fail, even though it was the only thing I had going at the time. But I did really well, and I shouldn't have been scared. But all in all, like, I have a mortgage and a family and all this stuff that, like, that's what stops me from, like, diving in full time. And I see people dive in full time, and they're like, man, I wish I would have done this years ago. And that's something that, like, now I'm past that stage in life to, like, really, really dive in and start my own business. And it's nice to help friends out, and I still love apparel decorating, but it's just not a full-time thing. But being able here to, like, share the ideas, share the education, share the resources that we have here, it helps me, like, live vicariously through you guys. I love going to shows and hearing the stories. Man, I did. During the pandemic, I got laid off from my career I was working at for 25 years. I didn't know what to do. My buddy said, hey man, let's start printing t-shirts. And now we're making double the amount of money we were making full time. And we love what we're doing. We're spending more time with our families. We're spending more time going on camping trips or fishing trips or whatever you want to be doing, and not being tied down to a boss or being your own boss, being in control, running your own business. It's super, super rewarding. And I love hearing the stories from you guys doing it. And I just absolutely adore and admire every single person that I talk to who's like, this is my business, this is it, I'm risking everything for it. And I've been a little afraid to risk it. So when I see everybody taking these risks and doing any business, not just t-shirt business or t-shirt printing, there's inherent risk with almost everything you do. And when you take those risks, and as I've gotten older, I've probably taken more risks, you know, buying a moped and going, you know, the midlife crisis, buying the motorcycle, but I'm not there yet. Not there, not by far. But I love and I admire you guys for what's going on and what you have, you know, the passion and desire and drive. I always say, like, working at the other print shops that I've worked at in the past, it was always an afterthought. It was somebody who was like, and it was awesome to be a part of it. I don't want to knock it down, but it's awesome to be a part of it and say, man, you guys are super, you know, a restaurateur who wants to make merch to sell, or let's use a barbecue joint because we're still on barbecue joints. Guy owns a barbecue restaurant. Hey, I need outfits for the entire crew, and I want merch to sell that people are going to buy. And it's like, cool, we'd love to do it, and they're into it, but their real passion is in the barbecue. They want the food, they want the meats, you know, and it's an afterthought for the merch. And then you get to be a partner in that and be a part of their business for a little bit and help them out, and that's great. But helping out decorators and people who are passionate about, you know, helping themselves and driving the industry forward and helping people in their local community and making a difference is just way more rewarding than just printing t-shirts. So I love what I do for you guys. I absolutely love being here for education. I want to help in any way possible. As dedicated as you are to your business, I want to be dedicated to helping you and your business with any challenges that you face as a small business owner, even your Etsy shops. I'm going to scroll back up and read that Etsy comment when we were in there, where it is. Yeah, and see, even like not full times, the side hustles, that's perfect. And then one day it might eclipse, or you might go, man, I get a lot of work. I got to take off days of work at my full-time job to print t-shirts. I've heard those stories too. And back in the day, I used to do tons of freelance design, website building, and marketing. And there would be days where I would take off from my regular job to do my side work and just catch up on it. But a lot of it was helping friends out, and I didn't want to let them down, you know? And so that's the same way that I know a lot of you guys feel about your clients. They're more than just customers, they're clients. You have a relationship with them. You are constantly driving their businesses forward too. And that's really the magic in all of this. But I want to go check this. There was an Etsy. I want to get started small on Etsy and whatnot. What do I need to be an actual business to order from you? Umbi Place. No. No tax ID, no business license, no nothing whatsoever. You get the same prices. There's not like wholesale rates for people with tax IDs or anything. They just don't pay sales tax. So if you want to get a tax ID and get registered as a business in your state, submit that stuff to us and we will not charge you sales tax. But if you're okay paying sales tax and passing that tax on to your customers, which is what a lot of people do just starting out, that's it. Just build it into the cost of your stuff. But you do not need anything special to do that. Let's see. I want to go back down here. Christopher loving the education. Got to that. Vertical print is also hot on the front or back. Were you in the webinar yesterday? Because we talked all about those vertical prints, the left chest prints, the back spine prints and stuff, the unique placements. Those are real cool in there as well. Let's see. How do you recommend pressing fleece shorts at a low temperature? Usually those could only take about 325, so depending on your art, I think Ultracolor Max would probably print on that awesome. Elastaprints might print on that awesome if it's a 100% polyester fleece face, or even if it's like a 50-50 cotton polyester fleece, that you could get away even with goof-proof. And I will say, if it's kind of like that, not necessarily like that tight knit fleece, but a little bit more fluffy, even like a kind of like the flock on a towel. I don't know if that's the right word, but like the tufts that come up. Goof-proof and Ultracolor Max will kind of mat it down perfectly and really hold it down so you have awesome print fidelity instead of it like raising back up and completely destroying the print. That's a great way to do it. So I really, really love that. Let's see. T-shirt is not my full-time job either, but it's really blown up for me. This will be my retirement job. Yes, that's the way to do it too, because my father-in-law, right? He's starting his t-shirt business now. He's eyeing up retirement. He's going to be retiring he's been looking at heat presses. But that's exactly it. Like, you could find the niche. He's been in the trades. He works with like pipe insulation and plumbing, fire safety for hospitals and stuff, all that insulation. He's been doing it for 40 years now. He knows what they need, what the workers feel comfortable in. He knows the sheet metal workers and the iron workers and the electricians. He knows a lot of the people who have been in the industry just as long as he has, and he knows how to meet those needs. He's been in it. He's found his niche, and now he's going to turn around and start printing t-shirts for him. He knows they need the high-vis vests. He knows what the reflective requirements are on the job site. He knows all this already, so he's already leaning into his strengths to bring his knowledge in a little bit more relaxed atmosphere. So he's able to print t-shirts on his own time, still make a little bit of income with his, in Ohio, we have the unions. He's got an awesome union pension coming his way, but he wants to be able to supplement that and still work and still help out his friends, his coworkers that he's worked with for 40 years, the relationships that he's built with them. He wants to carry on instead of just sitting at home poolside. Although, come on, sitting at home poolside, that's it. You won, man. I don't want to work in retirement, but it is a great way to focus on that full-time, part-time, be able to help out and turn jobs down if you just don't want to take them. Being in control of your own life like that is absolutely awesome and super rewarding. So that's awesome, man. Absolutely love it. Custom Journeys, hi. Joining us late. I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. We've been on for about an hour and a half, and I mean, I could go literally to the end of the day with you guys. We're having fun. We're talking about barbecue restaurants. I gotta say, my favorite here in Cleveland, we have Mabel's, which is Michael Simon's barbecue. It's different. It's different. Mabel's is awesome, and then Moosehead. Out, if our friend from Lorraine is still here, that's out in Avon, Moosehead. It's where Bubba's used to be. Awesome, awesome little hidden gem, and they do have the little sausage links, but they're not nearly as good as the ones down in Texas. So they're good, but that's good there too. Hi, Barb. Hi. T-shirts, yeah, will replace my wife's income job and future snowbird. Boom, right there. See, and I love hearing about that and what you guys do it for, because that's, everybody has different reasons, but they're all beautiful and they're all valid and they're all awesome to hear about. And I mean, we're all different. And I mean, we've been so fractured lately with politics and everything else that, like, as t-shirt decorators and as just people, we could share ideas, we could appreciate each other, we could lift each other up, we could help each other out. And that's what it's all about. That's why I love this. I do love this community. Let's go. I was not, but I have been doing them. There we go. Yeah, certified North Texas PR. First time here in the live Q&A. It's empowering. I look forward to meeting you in Fort Worth. I look forward to meeting you in Fort Worth as well. Let's hang out and get some barbecue. just came in the chat. Could you explain what's the difference between Ultracolor Pro and Ultracolor Soft? We did already, but I would love to tell you again. Let me get through a couple more chats. Thank you for the value information, Dave. You guys rock. Have a beautiful weekend. Stahls Transfer Express family. I call them my TX peeps. My Transfer Express peeps. Scotty did that on a couple YouTube videos a couple years ago, and it's just kind of stuck. I love it. My Transfer Express family. Thank you, Estelle. And I think you might have said that you were the Lorraine out there. Ohio plus poolside plus winter equals no way. No way. But it's summer now. We could go by the pool. Yeah, not poolside. And my father-in-law does have an awesome in-ground pool that we get to go. It's like my daughter's favorite spot in the world. She just loves going swimming there. I love going there, swimming there too on hot days just like this one. So I do want to tell you custom journeys. I do want to tell you what's the difference. So we'll just loop back around to this one. If anybody has any else questions, please let me know in the chat section. So right here we have the majority of the Ultracolor family all printed together on this sheet. I'll get you a little bit closer up. And as we're switching over and I'm kicking tables and making noise here, I'm going to come to this other camera so you could kind of see the difference between all of them. So this one right here is Ultracolor Max. This one's Ultracolor Soft in the middle. And this is Ultracolor Pro on the end. So on camera, they all look very, very similar, but they're all a little different. This has a super smooth matte finish. Feels real good. This one has a satin finish, and the Pro also has a very, very similar satin finish to the Max. They look almost identical. Maybe a little bit more sheen on this, but they are both very, very, very similar. So the main differences between Max and Pro. So Max is a direct-to-film transfer. It is available with 0 minimum quantity. It's available per image or by the sheet. All you pay is 6 cents a square inch. So it's great for low quantities, those one-offs, the prototypes, anything like that, that is Max. Max is the way to go. And yeah, any size from 1/4 inch up to 22 by 22 inches. Gang sheets, multiple images, or just one humongous graphic, which we did on our YouTube channel just a couple weeks ago. We did oversized prints, and I used that full 22 by 22 inch area for some prints. Did even some billboard prints like along the back of the shirt that spans from like arm to arm. That was 22 inches. So I used that whole area on the sheet. But that's the capabilities of Max. With Pro, it's available by the sheet. So this is one sheet of Pro. And I do have Max here as well. I used my one Max example, I printed it on the shirt. But so Max here, you could order just by the image or by a full sheet. As you can see, this one is cut off of a sheet with more images that were on it. Ultracolor Pro is only available by the large 11.5 by 18 inch gang sheet. Minimum quantity of 6, but it's much more similar if you've ever ordered Ultracolor Soft. It essentially is Ultracolor Soft, but it's a hot peel and it's cheaper. So it's about $4 less per sheet at 6 quantity, so that's starting quantity. And as you go up in quantity, they kind of even out a little bit once you get past all of the fees and everything that are built in there. You know how anything in printing is, it's higher, there's more expense in like the setup in lower quantity, but then as you start getting into the higher quantity, it all evens out and you get that super low per piece rate. So that's another thing, talking about price breaks. 6 quantity, 12 quantity, 18 quantity, 24, there's price breaks. So you're paying less and less and less the more you order with Pro. So it's good for those higher quantity orders. With Max, you have a 6 cents per square inch and it's locked at that. So if this print here, if it's 5 inches by 10 inches, it's 50 square inches times 6. I'm bad at math, but what, $4 or something for that then? Correct me if you have a calculator handy. But so like if it's $3, $4 for this entire print, that's it. It's stuck $3, $4 per entire print. So this sheet might start at $10 at 6 quantity, but when you go up to 36 quantity, it's down to $4. So you get those quantity breaks, so it's much more economical for those higher jobs. Now there is a small clear outline, just like Ultracolor Soft on the Ultracolor Pro. I don't know if you could even see it on these samples that it is. We've been trying to reduce it, make it smaller and smaller. I don't know if this is going to necessarily focus on me or if I'm even in the right spot here. But you could see there might be a small clear outline that you could see on this image. And that's going to be the difference between the Pro and Max does not have any outlines whatsoever. So you have nice crisp text and everything's there. So there's, it might be able to see it on the soft. That might be a little clear outline. It might be incredibly out of focus. I might be playing with the focus on the camera. It might just be blurry. Who knows? Who knows? But you could see detailed photos on our site to be able to compare them, and then you're able to compare them back and forth. If that didn't make any sense, we have a video coming out next week called Introducing Ultracolor Pro that is going to be breaking down everything that I just talked about and the differences between the two products. The last difference that really makes a big deal. If you are, say, submitting like internet art, the PNGs, raster images and stuff, when you order Ultracolor Max, because it is only 6 cents a square inch, all of the art fees are not built into the pricing because we want to keep the cost low so that you could profit. But if you do need artwork help, it's $22. So you have to pay a proofing fee, excuse me, $22 per job for our artists to fix your files. So it could be completely redrawing your file. It could just be trying to increase the resolution, cleaning up edges so like things are nice and sharp instead of looking bad when it prints. We don't want that to happen. With Ultracolor Pro, all of that is built into the pricing of the transfers per sheet. So any artwork you throw at this, even if it's just a napkin sketch and you want our artists to make a full-blown logo for you, we're going to be able to do that. And that is all included in the price of this. No added $22 art proofing fee, all included in the price of these transfers. So if you don't have print ready or camera ready art, if you're an old school guy, you have to do it like this. So this is going to be the more affordable option, maybe even at a lower quantity. Now, price per square inch with the Ultracolor Max, that if you are doing like little left chest prints, let's see, do I have anything here? Yeah, like just this little baseball guy, that's going to be super cheap to print, and you're probably going to have to be at like 48 quantity before it's more cost effective to gang them all up on one sheet here. So you're able to print these. Now they're both hot peels, so you don't have to wait for it to cool to peel down. It's all a single step application. You could double press, I mean either one of them if you want to, but you don't really have to. That clear outline is almost completely eliminated with the hot peel versus if you've ever used Ultracolor Soft. On that first peel you might see the that clear adhesive outline depending on the color and the fabric that you're printing on, but then you could always cover it and repress it again. We're still going to give you the cover sheet if you do want to cover it and repress it, because we don't want to leave you high and dry, but we do want to be able to help you out and get you the best result, get you stoked about the product and the print quality so that your customers could be stoked about it too. Let's see here. Now there's a whole bunch of, boom, we got more comments in here. Springfield, Ohio. Yes, fellow Ohioan. I knew you were a fellow Ohioan in there, Estelle. You are a genius. That Ultracolor sample sheet is the bottom of a t-shirt. I went to the fabric store and bought quilting cotton to make simple squares. I never thought of cutting down a shirt. So this was something that I learned in the printing industry. So whenever we had misprints, when I was working with large automatic presses, because like when you're doing strike-offs to get the press registered and everything up, you run through a lot of t-shirts. So what we would do is we would literally just cut them up. And now not only do you have a test fabric that's going to be actual fabric, this is a 50-50 cotton, so if we want to test on 50-50 cotton, here it is, right here, but also these work great. I mean, with screen printed transfers and heat press, you don't have to worry about it, but when you're actually printing, man, things get messy. And these are your shop rags. No need to go buy paper towels. You got tons of t-shirts that you're throwing away. Cut them up, cure the inks on them, and then you have a whole bunch of shop towels around to clean up all that extra ink. Or even if you maybe are working on your car or bike or anything like that, you could still cut them up and use them around the house. They work great for anything. And then you're just recycling, reducing, reusing, instead of just cutting up a t-shirt and throwing them away. But this is just a cut up piece of fabric, and this is the t-shirt that it came off of. Right there. Bam. I just cut it off the t-shirt. But that's it. But see, even sometimes, like, I was printing, and I went to print Goof Proof, and I still had it set at 290. We make mistakes when we're rushing sometimes, and I misprinted a Goof Proof print on it. So I'm like, you know what? This shirt's going in the garbage. Might as well salvage a portion of it because I wanted to see how all of these look on 50-50. So we're going to have quite a few of these examples that we're going to be able to take to show, so you see them all together, and we'll even be bringing the transfers as well so that you could apply them with an auto clam, or sometimes even we'll bring a fusion press. We'll even have the 360 IQ on site at a lot of events too, so you could see, feel, touch the equipment for yourself. Since there aren't really necessarily like showrooms anywhere, it's all online. So these events, especially like Impressions, I think the early bird special is going to be ending soon. You could get to these shows for free, at least to the expo floor, walk around and see all of the cool technology. If you're any bit of a print nerd like I am, man, I love just walking the shows. Of course, I love standing at the booth and talking with you guys, but walking the show and just seeing the cool technology and the leading edge stuff that's coming out, it's really, really awesome here. So let's see. Whole shirts, and I didn't have that extra kind of money for testing. Yes, that's the way to do it. Nicole from Illinois, hello. Thanks for joining us on a Friday. Happy Friday. As soon as this is over, I have a ton of college algebra homework. No, I hate math. I'm not a big fan of it. Always struggled with it as a kid, but as I've grown older, I've like just gotten better at it. Still, with my per square inch pricing, you know, we didn't nail that one right. Maybe I will. I'll go back in the offices and out of the studio, and someone's gonna be like, "You hit that spot on." I probably didn't though, so don't count on that. Never count on my math skills, but I'm getting better. I could estimate closely. But math is exact. It has to be exact numbers, otherwise it's wrong. And Mark, Mark and Matt are in our financial department. Are probably, if they're watching this, they're like, Dave, stick with T-shirts and marketing. Don't go into financials. Let's see. One last question for sportswear, gymwear. Do you recommend Ultracolor Max for nylon, spandex, and other non-cotton polyester, cotton poly blends, or will you recommend something else? That's where the spandex, we have tested Ultracolor Max on spandex. It did not pass the 50+ wash dry cycles, at least in our testing. We didn't modify any of the application instructions, so it could be possible at a higher temperature, a lower temperature, it might work. It did print on it though, and it lasted, I don't know exactly how many washes, but a promising number. We all thought it was gonna be released and we're gonna be like, yeah, you can print on spandex. So Ultracolor Max for low use on any woven nylon, stuff like that, that's not gonna be washed or laundered, it could work. Unofficially on a 35 people watching me, and then I guess this is gonna live forever on YouTube now. Yeah, I shouldn't have said some of that stuff. I'm kidding. But no, definitely if you're printing on woven nylon, spandex, lycra, Ultracolor Stretch is going to be your best option. That stays on there, it moves with the fabric, it has the rebound, it goes back, and you have that full color capability, photorealistic images, you don't have to color count, anything like that. That's going to be the only thing I could recommend for absolute bulletproof printing on spandex, lycra, and nylon. So all that stuff on there. Hey, Anthony from New York, hello. Thank you for joining us. I think we're just getting ready to wrap this up. Man, we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes here. I love the heat transfer answer every single Friday here in the Transfer Express studio. Me, both of our cameras. Hey. Hi. But we are here live in the Transfer Express studio, answering questions, completely unscripted. I want to just be here to talk with you guys, hear your challenges, hear your successes, answer your questions if you're having application questions or easy view questions or what transfer, or exactly like today, what's the difference between this brand new Ultracolor Pro and the existing Max? They're both hot peels, they look the same. Why would I choose one over the other? And so that's exactly this unscripted, kind of longer tail, casual format where we could just talk and have conversations over the internet, be connected, and help each other out. That's what it's all about. But that's why I love doing this. We'll be doing another one at the end of July. We have a Toast to Transfers. If you come to any of our Toast to Transfers events, essentially we pre-sell a kit, which should be going on sale in the next couple weeks for the July edition. It's going to be back to school themed. But we pretty much sell this kit is loaded full of like t-shirts and tote bags or koozies or onesies, stuff that you may not have printed before, and then you get to join us for a live stream just like this. Multiple cameras here in our Transfer Express studio where we are able to pretty much do, whatever we need to do to teach you how to print on these things so you could feel confident as a decorator to say, you know what? I absolutely could do those tote bags for you, and they're gonna rock. Get you all ready to go. So I think for the next one, we're going to be doing a long sleeve t-shirt. So we'll be covering that, that sleeve print technique that I covered here with you today. we'll be covering this sleeve print here today. We'll be doing that. We'll be printing on the front of a shirt. So if you've never done long sleeves and you want to kind of follow along, you don't want to spend money getting your own custom transfers, we will send you sheets of transfers so that you'll have extras to experiment with, and you'll be able to press along with us. But we're going to be doing a long sleeve t-shirt. We're going to be doing a little pencil pouch kind of pouch. They're brand new from Port & Company. Really, really cool. They have this awesome like knit polyester. Looks super cool, but we're going to be printing on those and teaching you how not to melt zippers. A big, big aspect of it. And then we're even going to be printing on a backpack. What? A backpack. We will be sending out, I believe our Ultracolor Pro transfers will be included in that kit. So if you have not had a sample yet, what are you waiting for? You could go right now and request a free sample. We'll send one to you on Monday because the mail already picked up out of the warehouse today, so no mail's going out today, but we'll send you one on Monday if you request a sample of Ultracolor Pro now. You could apply it for yourself, touch and feel the difference, throw it in the washer, see how it washes. Spoiler alert, it washes pretty good. Yeah, if you haven't already tested that out, request a sample, but if you want to press along with us, putting it on backpacks or t-shirts, tote bags, whatever we end up doing here for this next one, you'll be included, and you could just buy that kit. Usually it's like $30 too, includes shipping, so it's super, super cheap, ready to go in. If whoever was in here and bought that was talking about that application kit special from the webinar yesterday, let me know if you did that, because then I'm gonna have to go check on that, or you might have already been charged shipping. I don't know. We're gonna have to check on that, but let me know. Let me know if you did that, because I'll jump in there. I'll jump in there and adjust your shipping in there. Let's see. Let's go down. Anthony from New York. Perfect, thanks. Certified North Texas PR. What Caesar brand would you recommend for use with gym wear? I'm not too familiar with Caesar products. I don't know if I could say it out loud, but I have used the Easy Weed, the Caesar Easy Weed product, because it's available at my local Michael's. Also, full disclaimer, Michael's is my daughter's favorite store. She's 4 years old and she loves going to Michael's, so we go to Michael's a lot. And they have that entire aisle now of Caesar vinyl. And it's so easy sometimes to just pick one up off the shelf. But I've only ever used Easy Weed. I know that they have one specifically formulated, but I don't know that too much about Caesar, all of their product offering. If you go on over to Caesar.com or go over to the YouTube channel, I'm sure Caesar will be able to tell you. I know that Stahls also has vinyl that I personally have to say, the Stahls vinyl changed the way that I even think about vinyl. Especially coming from the Plastisol decoration area. I had never used Stahls vinyl, and any vinyl transfers, I have a Cricut at home, and so like I was like, yeah, it's easy for one-offs, like shirts for my daughter, little fun stuff, like one-offs I could feel okay doing. I used Stahls vinyl, I think it was Premium Plus, and man, it weeds easy, it applies, it moves with the garment, it feels great. And so like for your vinyls, I would recommend checking out Stahls stuff. But if you are in the market of ready to apply transfers, can't go wrong with Goof Proof. This is real Plastisol ink, and this is really where I think premium retail ready decoration, it feels, looks, washes, and wears just like a regular screen printed t-shirt. Go in your closet, look, and this is going to feel great. It comes ready to apply. I don't know about you, but weeding's okay for small pieces. Anything over a couple pieces, I'm not weeding it. I don't have time for that. So I would rather just buy them it's ink, it's not even vinyl. So I'd rather just buy transfers ready to apply. It just makes it so much easier to operate, and I feel like it's a higher quality product. And transfers versus material cost, like in buying HTV, it's actually pretty even. So especially when we factor in like our direct-to-film transfers, the DTF Ultracolor Max transfers, these are so cheap that like this, if I just needed a couple of these, I could order just a couple of these. I don't have to buy an entire run or entire roll of vinyl if I just need a couple of these. And then in this like weird color that's like off-white, kind of yellow but not yellow, like I'm probably never going to use that color again, so then I just bought a whole roll of vinyl that's going to sit on the shelf. I'll just buy Ultracolor Max transfers, print a few of them. It's a super premium product, looks great, lasts, washes great, it's not gonna crack, fade, fall off, anything like that. And when you're applying with a heat press, it's super, super easy. So I typically go that route. So I apologize that I don't know all too much about specific kinds of vinyl, but I know for performance and athletic wear, 100% polyester. This is gonna work great, it's gonna stretch. If you're doing spandex, we have ultra color stretch. Spandex, lycra, nylon, stuff like that. So it's awesome. So I hope that answers your question there. Photorealistic images, what product can I get photos on a transfer? Any of the entire Ultra Color line. So our Ultra Color Pro, if you could see this, let's switch on over to here. There's like this, this whale that's actually a fully detailed, man, it might be out of focus, but it's actually like a fully detailed like photorealistic galaxy inside this whale, and in this whale too. So you have the stars, you have like the nebulas, and there's blues, and there's pinks, and there's reds. I mean, even here with this one, let me see if I could pull this out. And I could show you like these colors and these neons and cool. That was a cover sheet. Let's pull this one out. That's not a cover sheet. But you could see all of these like different colors that are in here, these fine details, these gradients that go back and forth on this. Even these gradients and like these designs here, all of this photorealism, any of the Ultra Color lines. So that's Ultra Color Max if it's a low quantity. That's like a $25 minimum. There's no minimum quantity, just a $25 cart minimum or order minimum. So you just need to get that in. But for those super low quantities, Ultra Color Max is definitely going to be your #1 best pick. When you start running for more quantity, the Ultra Color Pro, which is what this one was that I just held up, and our whale, available on the sheet. So Ultra Color Max is available by the image. If you just need one single image like this one, you could order it just by the image, or you could order it by the whole sheet. And those come rolled and tubed up, so nice and easy. But then, yeah, Ultra Color Max, Ultra Color Pro, or if you want a nice, very unique, soft, matte, velvety finish on the print itself, then you'll go with Ultra Color Soft. If you're printing on spandex, lycra, nylon, any of those synthetic fabrics that are typically hard to print on, then we have Ultra Color Stretch. And if you're printing on a sublimated shirt, which is very, very rare, but if you want to add decoration to a sublimated shirt and you're worried about dye migration, we even have Ultra Color Stretch with dye blocker, has that carbon-based powder on the back in the adhesive screen printed inks, and so it completely blocks all of the dye that migrates through, taking your bright whites on like say a red shirt or something to pink. So it eliminates all of that. So I hope that answered your question in there. Let's see, can an actual photo be printed? Absolutely. Yeah, CAD Cut Premium Plus, Christopher Kretz, absolutely, that was the one, that's the one, Premium Plus. It's going to change the way that you think about vinyl if you do that. Like if you're cutting with a cutter and you've been using Cricut or Caesar vinyl or some off-brand from Amazon, which is what I was doing. I was just buying them from Amazon when my wife bought a Cricut. She's a school teacher. And so she's like, we need a Cricut. All right, let's go do it. And so that kind of stuff is, yeah, you have to try the Premium Plus. Stalls will send you a free sample if you go to stalls.com. And of course, if you're interested in custom printed transfers here at Transfer Express, just go on. We have a full section in marketing tools under custom transfers. That's a full sample kit, and we'll send you all of our samples. This is like one of the Ultra Color Pro ones that you'll get. You could test all of these on just a piece of a t-shirt here, or you could print them on shirts yourself and hang them in your store. If you're going out to talk with clients, bring the shirt with you. This is the different feels of what I could offer, or 9 times out of 10, it's goof-proof. Goof-proof looks, feels, washes, and wears like that screen printed shirt. And my absolute favorite, this is real plastisol ink on a paper carrier. It applies at 365 degrees for 4 seconds. 4 seconds, one press, peel, and it's done. So it's really, really super quick, easy to use, no mess, no cleanup, no inks, no weeding, no nothing. You supply your artwork to us. You could even design online. If you've been downloading SVGs and stuff, we have a full catalog, Easy View Online Designer at transferexpress.com. We even have videos here on our YouTube channel on some tutorials on how to walk through certain steps, and more coming every single week. But with Easy View Online Designer, you could just take layouts, double-click text, and change them. So like all of this artwork that we made here, all of this is from Easy View Online Designer. So super, super easy to use. 70 plus standard ink colors, so I bet that's more than the rolls of vinyl that you have available to you, or ultracolor where you could even print photos and have that photorealism in there. Is there any product comparable in thickness to that of the glow-in-the-dark transfers? Glow-in-the-dark transfers. We do offer glow-in-the-dark transfers, but comparable in thickness to that of the glow, I would say Elastiprints. Elastiprints is our athletic formula specifically formulated for jerseys and athletic wear that has to hold up to industrial laundering with all those grass stains and the abuse that they go through on the field, sliding through dirt, sliding through grass, contact with football pads and helmets, and those numbers hold up. So those are a nice thick print. We do recommend that they're only printed on 100% polyester because, not because the print is going to fail, but because on cotton, if it shrinks, it really puckers around the print because it's so, polyester doesn't shrink as much as, say, like organic fibers do, like cotton, and so that print is definitely, it could look bad. So we definitely don't want that to happen. Actual photo can be printed. That's just all you have to do is submit your file, and we'll print the actual photo. Let's see. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, the glow-in-the-dark stuff is really, really cool. We actually have, we're going to be working on a whole bunch of glow-in-the-dark designs coming up soon, and I'm going to be featuring them in one of our videos here coming up on the YouTube channel, so be sure you're subscribed. But man, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Those guys in the office are probably like, what is Dave doing? He really doesn't want to work on a Friday. I'm kidding. I'm here with you guys. It's been an absolute blast. Thanks for hanging out with me here on a Friday afternoon at the Heat Transfer Answer. We are doing these the last Friday of every single month, so we'll be back in July. I don't know the exact date, but if you just look at the calendar, the last Friday in July is when we're going to be back here answering questions. Anything goes. So we could talk about barbecue again. If you guys think of any other barbecue spots that we should go eat at, then we'll talk about them. I love sharing ideas, anything heat printing related, t-shirt business, your Etsy stores, and be sure you're subscribed here to the Transfer Express YouTube channel because we're dropping new videos every single week that are the only purpose of them is built to help you and your t-shirt business. I am dedicated to all of the resources that we have here at transferexpress.com to helping you and your business so that you don't have to test stuff. If you ever see anything that gives you troubles or you have questions, just comment on the YouTube videos. I'm there. I'll be answering them. And we always, I would say a solid 40% of our YouTube videos are the content that you guys ask for. So if you say, hey, I want to see more, I want to learn more about the glow-in-the-dark transfers, or I want to learn how to do this specific thing in EasyView. Hey, how do you set up a gang sheet in EasyView? We have a video for it, and I'll link it to you and want to help you out and want to get it to you the easiest way possible. We also have the blog at transferexpress.com, so blog.transferexpress.com, that carries a lot of the same content. If you don't like watching videos and you like reading at your own pace, we usually put the videos on there too. So if you want to read a little bit and watch the video, you can have everything there, but we want to help you guys out. That's what we're here for. We want to see you thrive, and I believe in you that you could do it. You guys just hanging out here on YouTube trying to learn about t-shirt printing is the step in the right direction. And having that desire, that dedication is definitely the foundation to success. So I wish you guys well. I will catch you next time. We have another webinar in 2 weeks. I think it's July 14th on school printing, and I'll be leading that webinar, so I'll be happy to see you there. But other than that, I'll be here on the YouTube video twice a week. We're releasing new videos. So until then, I'm Dave. Happy pressing, guys. Have a wonderful Friday. I hope you get barbecue and enjoy time with whatever you end up doing. I've never ended a live stream myself, so I hope this ends. There we go. Happy pressing, guys. Happy weekend.